Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into tonight's stream. We're going to be doing Henry Dyson. This is the Druid build, and I'm going to go straight into the gameplay on this, and then we're going to talk about the build because I kind of feel like we're in a very, very good place. This is an RNG build which we did at the beginning of the league, and it's been kind of like, I suppose, the last one to actually get to endgame, I suppose, and it is incredibly strong. It's really, really good. It's got a massive clear, it's got a huge amount of damage, and it's probably, I would have thought, the strongest build that we've got this league, and I feel like there's still a little bit of variation that we can do with it to kind of like get it to finalise, but generally I'm very, very happy with it, and it's looking incredibly strong. The build is a Druid. It is using Whirling Slash as its main ability, and then using actually the Oracle. The final role is the Oracle Ascendancy. And in fact, I need Ascendancy points as well. I've still not optimised the Ascendancy points yet, so yeah. Got a little bit of optimising there to do, but generally the build feels pretty bloody good at the moment. So what I want to do is show the gameplay, and then we'll go through the build and loadout and the skills that we've got, and I'll show you how I built it, and then you guys can build it to your own heart's content, whatever you want, and make adaptations and that sort of stuff. So basically the build involves loading up the nice, got a logbook, loading up Whirling Slash, and then firing off a load of twisters and tornadoes. Tornadoes is auto cast by the Ascendancy skill line, which is nice. So the Oracle has this aligned fate ability, which basically, while active, your visages of yourself, alternative timelines, will occasionally appear casting one of your spells. So if you have one spell, it will always cast that on cooldown, and if you have quality, it for aligned fate, which you can't get from using the skill gem upgrade from it, you've got to get plus skills using something like that, quality skills. You get more cast. So I will go for the build fully on this. Tornado is the only spell that I've got. I've got Thunderous Leap, Whirling Slash, Twister. All these are attacks. In fact, Barrage is a spell, but it's got a cooldown, so it doesn't actually apply here. But everything else is an attack. So basically, my tornadoes will be cast by my line fate, which means that I can just have a big tornado popping up in conjunction with the twisters that I've got going on as well, which is really fun. We're just going to whiz through this map now and complete, and then we'll go through the rest of the build. I'm using cold as my main attack on this. The reason I've got cold on is because I like the slow. That extra slow is nice. It gives a little bit of CC, which is always good, and I get cold because I got the chill ground. I get the cold twisters that proc from it as well, which is really good. Go. Friendly charges as well. You see these little green charges, I can boost those up, and now when my next slot, I get loads more twisters coming out as well. So friendly charges allow me to push out more twisters, which is good. Where's the boss? Come on, let's go and find the boss. So this is a tier 15 map, fairly juiced up. Okay, what have we got? The Hyena Lord, which is good. Let's jump over here. Oh no! I'm got killed by the slam. Hilarious. Oh my god. Every time I do one of these introductions to the build, I always get taken out by the boss. It's hilarious. That was quite a big one hit actually. That was quite interesting. It's hilarious, always happens. Don't get killed out. There we go, got a nice freeze on him now. Anyway, it's a really strong build. Just don't get hit by the one-shot mechanics. That is a boss failure, not a build failure. That's me basically sucking up the one hit, which I shouldn't have done, basically. Concentrating on... There we go. That's what I want to do, something like that. Concentrating on the build, talking, and also not playing the boss mechanics is fatal. Anyway, the build is incredibly strong. Don't get hit by the one-shot boss mechanics, and you will be fine. Right. Let's go through the build because it is fairly complicated and fun. Let's come away from that so we have the background noise. Right, so going through the skill, or the skills. Whirling Slash, which is the skill here. That is... I've got Cold Attunement on there. I've got Frost Nexus, so we do the chill grounds, and then I've got Freeze for more build up, and then I'm going for Rage and Rapid Attacks. I want to be able to do this very, very quickly so we can get to the top 3 stages, and then we can push out Tornadoes and Twisters on top of that. So that is doing a decent amount of damage. We're on 42k, which is solid. I use Thunderous Leap to proc the Shot Grounds, so we get shocked on critical hit, that is. So yeah, it's a good mobility skill, and also trying to get that shot ground. We've got Inexorable Critical 2 and Ambush for more critical hit. We've also got the Gyrokan's Resolve for maximum critical hit chance with supported skills 2, and Rapid Attacks, more speed. The Twisters, which are those little beauties there, I've gone for Salvo, so we can potentially get more Twisters. Embitter for if your skills would gain extra damage of any type, they do cold damage. This is quite a big uplift in cold. If you look at my cold damage at the moment, it's 2636. Putting that in, it goes up to 7367. So that's the bottom end of the figure, up to 1687. But it's pretty solid. In fact, I could, if I'm going to go Twisters on that as well, we could go more Cold Attunement. So if I do, have I got Cold Attunement? See, always optimising the build, guys. We could do one of those as well. Actually, I think that's a cold skill. Cold Attunement though. Let's have a look. So yeah, we could do more cold on that for extra cold damage, 9,000 to 21,000. That's pretty solid, but we lose lightning and fire, but that's okay. We're kind of more of a cold build focus anyway. And then we've got the Balthair's Revenge. When you freeze a target with support skills, for each 1 rage you have, you and allies in your presence get 1% of damage. That's cold damage 20 seconds. So that's good as well. So we want the rage with the Twisters. Barrage for more Twisters, and we've got heightened charges, rapid casting 2, perpetual charge, and prolonged duration. So longer barrage, perpetual charge for the 25% chance to not remove charges, and then faster cast speed. Combat frenzy, obviously to generate the cast speed based on the frozen enemies, which is nice. Wind Dancer I actually haven't gotten at the moment. That is something that I could proc if I had more spirit, but I don't. So that's just kind of placeholding at the moment. Gone for Herald of Blood. We could probably go for like a different Herald on here, but I do like the explosions you get with Bursting Plague, Corrosion, and Poison 2. If we had a bleed on this, which I don't. In fact, we could chuck a bleed in. Interesting. Yeah, that's a remnant of the build from before. In order for this to proc, though, we do need a bleed. So we could, I don't know, actually, we could put, we could shove bleed. Am I bleeding? I don't think I'm bleeding. Yeah, we could, in order to get this to proc, it would be good to put bleed in on one of the attacks. Whether Whirling Slash. This is a very good remnant that we haven't changed. Definitely need bleed on the build somewhere in order for that to proc. I would probably look at sticking it on that Whirling Slash maybe. Ooh, where would we go with this? I don't know. Oh, either Twister or we could either dump it on the twister or we could dump it on the freeze. I would be sorry, on the Whirling Slash. I'd inclined to stick it on the Whirling Slash actually, and maybe get rid of the freeze build up. We can try this after this bit loadout discussion anyway. Maybe do that, and then we need bleed on that bad boy actually. So let's just fix that. Sorry guys, we're going for the build, but also making amendments as well because of optimizing and all that sort of stuff. No build is safe. We're gonna bleed 3. I wonder if I've got 5. I do have 5. Let's shove in bleed 3. I wonder if these. Yeah, this is a good alteration. Trust. Right. Okay, so Herald Blood now actually works. Overwhelming Presence, so we get the aura reduction. And Trinity as well. This is another actually skill that we could probably change out. Trinity was for more damage, but we seem to be stacking cold damage. So what I would suggest we do here actually is go for Early Conflux, 8-second duration between element randomized. This will be better. Again, another alterations, but I need more intelligence. I'm on 40 again. Ooh, let's go for an 18. 18 would work, I think. Yeah, so we could try Early Conflict instead. I think that'd be a better shout. Dump that in there, and put that in there, and then get rid of that and try that. It gives us a little bit more spirit, which means that we could go for this Wind Dancer. That might be a better shout instead of Trinity. Trinity gives damage on all elements, but I think we're predominantly doing cold. If you look at that, if you look at the Trinity at the top right, when you look at that dial when you're attacking, it tends to be mainly in the cold, so you might be better off doing that and that. Okay, we'll try that. Different alteration. So yeah, that's kind of like the skill set laid out. The Aligned Fate, I've gone for Diala's Desire, which is plus 1 level to support skill, 10% quality. Obviously we got in quality on the passive tree, the Cunning Fox, which is from my amulet, and I've also got oh, I haven't actually got it on that one. You can also get it on the amulet as well. Oh, I did have the amulet out. Where did I put it? I have a spare amulet for that. Anyway, you can get +5 on the amulet as well as plus the Cunning Fox, so it's worth looking into to optimize on that. We'll look at that in a bit. Yeah, and what else have we got? That's it on there. Let's do the gear next. So the gear, what I've done with the gear is I've gone for a build focused around the Crown of Eyes, which is this increase and reductions to spell damage also to apply to attacks, which means that my twister can be boosted up for Tornado Story can be boosted up for spell damage, but that also helps all the attacks as well, so I can focus on spell damage and might get a damage to all my twisters and my Whirling Slash. The other essential, so the other essential one really, but I suppose that's it. Everything else is kind of mechanically based. Oh, that's the other one, sorry. The Threaded Light Woven one is 14% increased spell damage per 10 spirit, which obviously the increased spell damage increases my attack damage. So again, that's another really solid synergy on that. Now for the defensive one, we've got an energy shield. So this has kind of been a very essential key part of this. The Furtive Wraps, Essentia Sanguinis, which basically it converts life leech into energy shield, which means that I then can like focus on getting high energy shield and getting a leech onto my energy shield, which means that I'm using my survivability comes from the energy shield stacking. Rings are attacks, and we've got a little bit of leech on that one and resistances, and the other one is just attack and resistances. These are great skills, and thank you very much for shout-outs for donating those. Chest piece, spirit is attack obviously, and spirit is defense too, so more spirit and resistances along with energy shield. We've got armor and evasion on that one. The amulet, we got spirit. I need that +5 ideally, and we've got projectiles, plus the projectiles, which is the twisters on this one, and then energy shield and elemental resistances. I would like to have the skill ones on there. I think one of these should have it. This one, something like that. +5 to quality of skills. The reason being, back down to this one, is on the quality. If I can get that up to 20, it additional effects from the quality is increased visage frequency, which means more tornadoes essentially, which is why I'd have it on there. The spear, we're focusing on physical, so physical attack speed and +3 to all attack skills, and then we've got 20% of damage is actually physical damage, which is all good. Onslaught, this is an amazing crafted spear, and then we've got plus the chaos damage and extra of all elements. Headhunter, because it's kind of like optimal, I suppose, in that. Again, I would argue that you don't necessarily need to go for Headhunter, but yeah, there is others, but for endgame I think that's kind of like possibly the optimal one. And then energy shield on my boots with movement speed and yeah, more energy shield and increased effect of socketed gems, so we've got more energy shield, so it's just like a really big energy shield pair of legs. Excuse me, I'm not 100%. I've got staunching for bleed and amethyst one for chaos resistances. My chaos resistance is 22%, that could be better. And then the slow frozen one as well, means frozen because that's nasty. Resistances aren't too bad now. We've got 79, 74, 118 in chaos. We need to get to chaos, needs to be optimized to be better. But yeah, that's that is the gear loadout. Obviously flasks for you know, instantly applied is always useful. And then onto the passive tree, this beautiful creation that is the passive tree. So obviously starting at this point here, I've gone for, let's say, the Aligned Fate, which is allowing for my tornadoes to be cast. The other 2 points that I'll get are likely to go to the critical element, so lesser harm, enemy critical hit chance against you is unlucky, which is always nice. And then inevitable critical hits, so we can get those inevitable the critical hits as well. That's the last 2 points I'd go into that. Now, remember I mentioned about we're going to be focusing on doing spell damage, but also we've got rage, which does more spell damage. So it's kind of like a mixture of rage and spell damage on the front bar. The back bar is the tornado, so we want to try and get more damage on the tornado, which will. It's interesting. The Aligned Fate always picks out what your back bar is, but you're allowed to activate it on the front bar. So back bar is green, front bar is red ones, which is over here. So we'll go through the start. I kind of missed out on the damage on the front end of this, the front start, which you get like the plus 10, 10, 10. That is obviously good damage, but I want to push away to the right hand side here. So I've gone off for this side, getting intelligence. First node to look at is path of casting, and this comes from the unseen path with the occult skill line, which allows me to pick up these extra pathing nodes. So we've got path of casting, so 2% spell damage per 10 strength. So we kind of want to focus on strength as well as all the others. So our strength is 171. So we get 2 spell damage per 10, which is divided by 10 times 2 equals another 34% increased spell damage. That can go up obviously if we're getting more strength. Then working my way around, I've also picked Night Spite up for extra chaos damage as well as more spell damage. That's another nice little node coming around. On the front bar, I've got armor and energy shield for defense mechanism while we're running normal attack, as well as the viciousness. So this is increased attack speed per enemy in close range, plus 10 dex. On the first lot of spell damage, again, this is all front bar because spell damage increases attack speed, attack damage as well. We've got 20% increased spell damage and skill effect duration with lasting incantations and wasting cast, which is damage with hits against hinders, 20% increased damage with hits against hindered, and we get a chance to hinder as well, so that's nice. The next one is anger management, so we get plus 15 to maximum rage. even though we get 200% faster start of inherent rage loss. More rage equals more spell damage by using the mystical rage up here, which is plus 2%. Every rage grants 2% spell damage, so 30 rage would give me 60. And I don't know what's my rage. I can't see my rage on there. Okay, 30 rage anyway. Right, where are we going? And then straight up, we've got a Heart of the Well for extra cold damage, extra lightning damage, recover mana on kill, and skill hit effect duration. Keep going up for the defensive mechanisms on the Ancient Aegis for 6% increased armor with any equipped body armor, and the adamant recovery increases and reduction to armor also applied to energy shield. Obviously, we've got the mystical rage for 2% increased spell damage, and then the main branch of the tree follows off over to the right here, so we get more spell damage. I've gone for more spell damage on the raw power, on the potent incantation. We've got insightfulness and melding for energy shields and defensive mechanisms. Straight up to the center, we've got the hero tragedy timeless duel, which means that we've got Black Scythe training instead of the Blackfang Covenant. So that changes everything within it. We've got nothing else in there that has changed. So I've got it by itself, which means gain no inherent bonus from strength, but 1% increased energy shield per 2 strength. So that it really boosts our energy shield. If I just dump that out, we go from 5336 up to 6384, which is quite nice. Keep going to the right hand side. We've got 3% increased spell damage per 100 mana. Mana's sitting at 629, so it's not massive. We could push a bit more into that with more intelligence, more mana. Round to the top as well, patient barrier for increased maximum energy shield, and we probably go for ingenuity yet for that extra 25 intelligence. That's going to help with damage as well as more intelligence, more mana, which would be good. I've hit this little ring up here for more spell damage. One that would be nice actually would be the Sanguine Tolerance. It's immune to corrupted blood and 40% reduced duration of bleeding, because obviously we do have a limited life pool for the bleeds, and we do get hit by bleed, then that would really help going along with the charm as well. So it could be worth pulling this in, and we would get 5 bleeding, 10% increased critical chance, critical hits pin would be nice. So I might possibly switch into that. And then on the front bar as well, I've dropped down to Spellblade, so get 32% increased spell damage while wielding a melee weapon. So more spell damage on the front bar, which obviously gives me physical damage with the Crown of Eyes. So really, really built into that Crown of Eyes. On the back bar, I've gone for this Sacrificial Blood. So skills cost mana or life, but they increase spell damage. Now, because I'm not casting them directly, they still get the benefit of the spell damage, but I don't get affected by that. In terms of, I don't have the cost of that, which is pretty good. So yeah, I've popped into there. And actually, one change I could make is get rid of these two, sorry. And I can probably go up here with that, because the tree actually comes from this direction now. I originally was coming from there, but I'm now connected to this point here. So in fact, let's just do that now. Yes. So refund, we can probably refund those two, and then I can stick them in here. There we go. Optimizing always, can I say? All good. So yeah, that's kind of like the loadout so far on that. It's fun, front bar, back bar sort of stuff, and we got a decent. We got so much spell damage across here as well, which is all good. So let's jump in and go for the next map, and hopefully I won't die again. It's got to be the way. You've got to die, right? Make you know, can't have it too easily done. Let's juice that up a little bit and see. Just don't get hit by the one-shot boss mechanics. Let's leave it. Let's leave a couple of revives in there. Always good. Right, let's have a look. I'm working my way over to this Castaway Cove so we can get some more gold. Gold is good, respecking all that sort of stuff. All right, off we go. Off we go. Yeah, it's a fun build. This a lot of damage, and a lot of twisters and whirlwinds and all that sort of good stuff. I do like the tornado. It's a very cool looking skill. A nice big badass twister procking off. These close-knit maps with this build are very strong as well. You get a lot of damage knocking down. Okay, got a stone altar. What I want to do tonight, actually, is once we've done this for a little bit, I actually want to jump on the bear build, and I'm going to set up another stream for that, so the streams are independent of each other, and you know, people can see the other build. And I need to level it up as well because I'm level 81, and I want to get it up to. I want to get all the builds up to level 90 this season or this league. Oh, it seems to be frozen there. Hilarious. That it. The boss didn't even come out to play. Yeah, the one thing about Headhunter is I dislike that teleport. It's really, really off-putting. Really off-putting. Bleed not working. Should be working. Where did I put it? Whirling Slash. We have got physical on there. Yeah, we have got. Oh yeah, we've got bleed. Alright, let's proc one of this. 25. Mob sizes. Into let's do it down here, I think. Or up here. Let's do it there. There we go. Nice. Damage is super strong. Nice big clear. Are we done around here? Done. I've got a load of crafting to do as well, which quite possibly do at some point when we've got a bit of chill. I was going to save it for Ace actually. Ace really likes his crafting. And it's not bad. A couple of them is good. There we go. Got the bleed working in the proc on the Herald of Blood. Nice. Alright, that's it. Okay, let's go in the middle and kill the boss and we're done. Yeah, it's been requested also that we do some pinnacle bosses with the team, which we won't do tonight. I think a lot of the guys are away at the moment. So, oh yeah, look, there's my rage is on 50 as well. Nice. Took a bit of a drop there, but it's all good. Yeah, so it's a fun build. It works really well, and it's good damage, really solid damage. Nice.